so here is the build guide page. So if you go to sharesuccess.com/build guide, you can look at this. You can watch this video. It's really helpful. And you can get some of this other stuff. But if you want to look at the build guide, you can download it or you can view it from here. Now, this resource is an amazing one. I use it a lot with potential builders or new enrollments a lot of times, just to talk with them about the potential that they have. The share guide is also from Share Success, and all of these materials are available at Aroma Tools to purchase in print, or you can download them and print them at home. It's going to be cheaper if you order from them. I think everything ends up being about 50 cents a copy, so it's pretty inexpensive and definitely worthwhile. I think having something tangible to show people is really helpful. Most people, I think, benefit from that visual. And also, the process of going through this is very deliberate. So it's not kind of willy-nilly. You shouldn't jump back and forth between pages a lot. You really should just kind of, when you're talking to somebody, go through this. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to just show you what this says. Hopefully I can zoom in. Yep, there we go. Okay. So, whoops, maybe not. It might take me a minute to figure out how to make the most of the situation. Okay, so the story goes, and the reason that multi-level marketing, but particularly doTERRA, has such a good opportunity is because it gives us all a chance to build a pipeline for financial security. The story is that there was a man who hauled buckets of water for a living. Every day he hauled water from the nearest water source to his village miles away, and because everyone needed water, he always sold out. So if he wanted to make more money, he would simply haul more buckets or work more hours. After many years, he grew weary of hauling buckets, and then inspiration came. If he used his spare time to build a pipeline, eventually he would be free from hauling buckets. So he labored diligently for a few years to build his pipeline. And then the day he turned on his spigot, everything changed. He'd created an unlimited supply of water for his village and a financial pipeline that continued to provide him abundance for years to come, and his family as well. So that story should give you an idea of where people stand. Most people are familiar of working for an hourly rate, or even a yearly rate, a salary. And they know they have to put in a certain amount of hours to get that paycheck. If they don't show up, they don't get paid. And with doTERRA, it works a little differently. If you build a pipeline, of course you have to show up and you have to work, but it's on your terms. You work when you want to and how you want to. And one of the most important things is with who you want to. You aren't shoved into a room with somebody you really can't stand and you have to make it work, or have a boss who's over you telling you what to do all the time. It's a very entrepreneurial thing, and you get to do with it as much with it as you want to. And we're going to talk about what those options are in a little bit. So, identify, are you hauling buckets right now? Or is your husband hauling buckets? Or are you building a pipeline? And ironically, Drew and I were building a little bit of a pipeline. He actually owns a home security, well, we both do, but a home security business, home theater, home security. And we've known for years that the security was where it was at. We need to help, sell those because, people pay monthly, but it just wasn't building itself as naturally and organically as doTERRA has. And, it's not something we're super passionate about. People, need security systems, sure, but it's not changing people's lives. It's not really impacting them the way that the oils do. So, a pipeline, next little bullet point, touches many lives. It's very fulfilling to build residual income this way because you're helping people along the way. And not only are you helping people find health and hope for themselves, but we're going across the world and getting oils from these places where we're building economies for people. So doTERRA is very committed to working directly with farmers and setting up co-ops and fair trades and payment for these people, which is huge because in most of the country, or most of the world, these farmers are in situations where, they're just barely making it. And so for us to go in there and give them hope of a future is huge. And it says the next thing is the time to start your pipeline is now. When you dedicate time and resources to building a pipeline in doTERRA, the results are far and lasting. Your pipeline will provide well-being and freedom to your home, to communities, and to generations. And, so far, that's very true. I will say that with doTERRA, I never thought that it would be as fulfilling and fun as it is for me to have a living that contributes to our family as financially as I have been able to do. So authentic network marketing is the most efficient way to build a financial pipeline. It's built-in business model. So all you kind of have to do is plug in and make it your own a little bit and go forward. So you don't have to ship the products. You're not responsible for the products at all. In my previous business, I had to find the products, fix the products, put the products on the sales floor, promote and market the products, and make all my own marketing, pay for somebody if I had to. Be at the store when they wanted to purchase, meet them at the store, help them ship it via whatever. So it's just a very hands-off, and it's almost like all of those roles are taken care of. And our role is just to educate the people. There is built-in education system to teach you product knowledge, entrepreneurship, and leadership. Entry is the cost of the products for your own household. And for your own level of commitment. So, if you're ordering $125 a month, that's, you probably want that anyway. And that's the commitment for building a business. And that's, everybody is mostly willing to do that. What makes doTERRA unique compared to other opportunities? We are the largest essential oil company in the world. We're a product-focused sharing model. So a lot of multi-level marketing, in other words, is very focused on the business opportunity. So people will approach you about, hey, I have this great business. And the product is sort of secondary if, it's just a product that they can offer with the opportunity. With doTERRA, the product is the first and foremost, and it's great, and it's what sells itself. So our job is so easy. Also, the company at large is debt-free with no outside interest or funding, which is huge, which means we can't go bankrupt. We don't owe money to anyone. We just are basically earning on the products that we sell, and that money, it's just the perfect way that, harmoniously things should work. There's no outside person interjecting, charging us interest that we can't pay back or anything like that. So it's a very cool thing about our company, and there are not very many companies at all in the world who can claim that. Led by an executive team of business, marketing, and healthcare professionals with 150 combined years of industry expertise. And as you grow with the business, you'll get to know this executive team more and more and be more and more impressed with them. If you are local, or even if you're not local, the spring tour is going on right now. Look for the one that's closest to you. For us in the Triad, it's on the 24th of May here in Greensboro. We're super excited. Drew and I get to help plan it. It's going to be an amazing event. One of our executive members is going to come and speak to us and share, the heart of doTERRA and a lot about using the products as well. So make sure you come out. Lots of free raffles and things at all of them. Make sure you come and take anyone who is interested. This chart here outlines the growth of doTERRA. And if you look at that, it's huge. And it compares it to Herbalife over the course of 16 years, what their chart looks like, and New Skin over the course of 15 years. Well, we just turned 8 last week, and this is what ours looks like. It's growing exponentially, and it's because everybody wants and needs these products. We need the oils. It's huge. If you want to watch the video about that pipeline video, you can at sharesuccess.com/pipeline. It's a fun one. But the average retention rate with doTERRA, this is a huge thing, is 65%. That means every 3 months, a person who's enrolled with doTERRA orders again. And so for us, that means every month we're not scrambling to find new people to buy. Every month we offer support to people, encourage people to try new products, and they buy them again and again because they work and they love them. And that's how I feel about it. I won't stop buying doTERRA. It's like, even if I wasn't making money, I would continue to buy these products. And I think the statistics are about 15% of people who enroll with doTERRA are actually going to build the business at all. And everyone else is a customer. And that's great. Customer base is how companies, stay alive. So, but in that entire group, 65% of people, and this actually, the number is very low. And the other thing that's crazy, and it's one of my favorite things Crystal recently shared, she was part of another company, and she asked her upline, Tanya, what our retention rate was, what doTERRA's retention rate was. And Tanya's like, well, I'm not sure. So she went, she asked somebody, and she came back and she said, well, 65%. And Crystal said, you have the wrong number. That's funny. You don't have the right number, because in the industry in multi-level marketing, their goal for their high number is 13% of retention rate. So what that means is when you have a 13% retention rate, every month you basically have to start from scratch to get to the volume that you had the previous month. And, if you think about other things that aren't usable or don't meet so many different needs, it's like everyone in our house uses dōTERRA. A friend of mine invited me to a makeup party in a couple of weeks, and I might have fun at that, but Drew's not going to use it. My husband's not going to use it. My kids are not going to use it. I mean, eventually, maybe when they grow up, but it's very limited to who the market is. And for dōTERRA, the market is endless. There's not one single body out there that can't benefit from essential oils and the products that we offer. So it's just a huge, huge difference. And it's funny because I dabbled in discovery toys. I don't know if you're familiar, but what I learned very quickly is, people may buy all the toys I have, but that's it. They're done once they're done. So, it's not like they were replenishing toys on a regular basis. They get it and they have it, and then they're on to the next thing. So I learned quickly that was going to be a very difficult thing for me to sustain. Okay, so what would you like your pipeline to produce? So think about that. What even it could be a small amount. Maybe it's like $300 a month, just so you have, a special date night money, or money to go to Disney World with your family, or, whatever it might be, dance classes for your child, or pottery for yourself. I'm very into art, so maybe you are too. Anyway, so that's just, think about what that could do for you. Think about if it was $1,000 a month, what could that do for you? Maybe it would cover your mortgage. Maybe it would cover your food bill. $1,000, that's great. What would you do with that? What if you got $3,000 extra a month, and so on and so forth. And what would you want to happen with this, potential? Just think about that. Have that in your brain. And so now we'll talk about what you need to do to make that happen, to reach that pipeline. Oh, there we go. I've moved it. My face is to the right place so that now I can see. Okay. So, this chart is a lot to look at, but I'm going to help you kind of, figure out what it says. Okay. So these are the ways we get paid. These are the different ranks moving up here, and down along the bottom, these are the 4 ways that we get paid. Well, it's missing one. There's actually a 5th. The 5th way that we can get paid is on retail sales. So retail sales are not something that I generally promote because it's just that one-time purchase. And most people, they see that $35 is not much to get $25 back. And, most people want more than one oil. So by the time they get 3 or 4, then it's really a good option to just go for the membership and get the best discounts, and then also get free stuff. So I rarely sell at retail. And I will tell you a little tip. If you're new at this, I wouldn't offer your wholesale discount to anyone else. It's just one of those things where you do it once and they become an addict, and then they never see the real value of getting it for themselves, because they're like, oh, I'll just get it on Lacey's order, and she owes it to me because I'm her mom. Well, guess what? I don't even give my mom the wholesale price. She has her own account, and it took her a while to finally come around to that. And I gave her lots of samples and would help her how I could, but it's not beneficial for her to rely on me, because then I'm getting all the points and she's not getting anything anyways. So really, you're going to want to sell retail to people who aren't ready to commit, but that won't happen very often. It shouldn't happen very often. But when you do sell at retail, you get 25%. So, our wholesale discount is 25. So you just keep the difference. And if they buy through your website, then dōTERRA will send you that 25% on the 15th of the month. If you decided that, you wanted to just take a check from them, then you'd have to pay for their product and ship it to them and keep the difference. So that hopefully is pretty straightforward. If you at any time have a question, you can there's a raise your hand feature. You can try to do that, and I'll keep checking just to see if anybody's raised their hand. Or you can just say, excuse me, whatever you need to do. Okay, so the fast start bonus. This is the first way that people start to earn. So whenever you're, sharing with someone, it could be, one-on-one with someone, or it could be at a class. then you offer them the opportunity to get a kit or to order a wholesale membership with several products. Whatever they order in that initial order, you get 20% of. So it's just a flat 20%. And if they order anything in the 60-day period, their first 60 days, you get 20% on that. So it doesn't matter when they enroll. It just starts when they enroll from 60 days. So it's not dependent on when you enrolled, if that makes sense. So say you enrolled 3 weeks ago and you enroll someone tomorrow. So the 60 days starts tomorrow. And then if your friend that just enrolls someone, they would get the 20% and you would get 10%. So there you have an additional income for you. So you want to help your friend get that fast start so they get addicted to those paychecks, right? And then the same goes for them. And then when their person enrolls someone, you get 5%, they get 10%, and that first person gets the 20%. So I hope that makes sense. These are the levels right here. And it just lasts for that 60-day period. And then all of the earnings you get on these 3 people will jump over to this. Now, this is dependent on enrollment, and this is dependent on sponsorship. And that's something we probably won't get a huge amount into at the moment, but as you grow, you'll see that that's something you need to determine. Like when you enroll someone, you don't have to keep them right there on your front line, like in this picture here. You can put them down under another friend that you both know, or if you're helping your mom build, maybe you would help put her under there. And this is called the power of 3. Oh, really quick, the Fast Start is paid every week. You have to maintain a $100 order in your LRP. So in your loyalty rewards, you have to make sure that there's 100 PV in there all the time. Because since it's paid weekly, it checks when it goes through to see if you have that template filled out at 100. So that's what you have to keep your 100 for. And then for the power of 3, you also have to have 100 PV to earn power of 3 bonuses. So while the purple one is paid weekly, power of 3 is paid, and all of the rest of these are paid on the 15th every month. Okay, so power of 3 team bonus. You are enrolled, and you enrolled 3 people, and they stay right there on your front line, and they each order 100 every month. And so then you get a $50 bonus if that volume for the 4 of you is 600 or more. And usually it is. You know, sometimes you might have to fill in a little bit, but it might be worth it to get that $50. And then if they get that, and this was my first goal. I mean, in all honesty, if you can think of 3 people that you could put on your front line, the sky's the limit. And for me, that's exactly what happened. I was like, well, if I can pay for half of my monthly $100 that I want, Drew won't hassle me. He'll be okay with $50. But so that was my first goal, to find 3 people who I could put on my front line, who would keep 100 and keep ordering. And it happened, and then they got their 3, and then those people got their 3. Now it takes some time, but this is a really good way to focus if you want to build. This helps build a very strong, firm structure so that long-term you're going to have a very stable income. But anyway, so it's 250 if these 3 get up 1 person to do 100, and then it's 1,500 if these 3 people also do 100. Well, it's, you know, how many is that? 9 there. No, I'm sorry. I can't do math that fast. That's 18, right? No, I'm going to stop. I'm embarrassing myself. Anyway, you can see there, it's just multiplication. It's not hard, Lacey. So this is the unilevel. Moving on to this. And this part is just a little bit more confusing. But the key things that I want you to see, first of all, we have a 65% retention rate. That makes a huge difference because long-term, this is what you earn on people. So on your level 1, that's these 3 right here, you get 10% long-term, or 2% long-term. So after they're out of that first 60-day period where you get 20% on their orders, you start to get 2%. You're like, oh, Lacey, that's nothing. What am I going to do with 2%? I mean, that's $2 on any $100 order. Well, I'm glad you noticed that because you don't want to keep everybody on your front line because you do want to earn more than 2%. So you really want to find good places to put these people underneath. And that's where you choose someone right here to be the sponsor of someone else so that you can put them on your 3rd level or your 4th level and earn 5% or then moving up to 6%. So the thing that's really cool about dōTERRA, and they thought about this pretty thoroughly when they invented our commission system, they realized that for most people, and that's actually everyone who builds, the majority of their people, if you'll notice, are on the levels further down. So look, you're earning 2% on 3 people, but who cares about that? Because you're earning 7% on all of these people. So that's 7 times whatever number we decided this is. That's 9 times 3, right? That's 36. Okay, so 7 times 36. That's still not right. It's 27. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. But anyway, the point is you earn more on people further down, and your level 7 should have even more than that. So it's a really, really great way to earn, and it builds and builds and builds. And at first it's very small, but that's why they have a fast start and the power of 3. So you can focus on building those. And when you do that, you'll build a strong, firm structure. And at the same time, you're going to achieve the ranks if you build this way. So we'll talk about ranks in just a minute. But so here, this is where the very residual income comes from. Okay, so leadership pools. So leadership pools are paid monthly and are something, once you hit the rank of silver, you start to get a part of. And it's almost like shares in the company. So the company will overall do very well, and it continues to do very well. And as people promote, they get shares in the overall, basically surplus the company makes, the profits the company makes. So for silvers, golds, and platinums, they share a 2% pool. And then for diamonds, blues, and presidentials, they share a 1% pool. Now, it sounds like less, but it's really more because there are fewer diamonds, blue diamonds, and presidentials than there are silvers, golds, and platinums. And then they also have these pools down here just amongst themselves. So anyway, very cool. And they can, equal, I think that the silver, gold, and platinum shares on average are 150. And the diamond shares, I'm not positive what those are, like 750, maybe more, maybe no, 2,500. I'm sorry, I'm totally making that up. So anyway, just to keep in mind what the potential is there for additional bonuses. So silver is a really great way to start because by the time you get to silver, you're earning on all 7 levels. So it says here, elites are paid on this level. So elites are paid up to level 5. Premiers are paid up to level 6. And silvers are paid up to level 7. So in the first beginning ranks, you don't get quite paid all the way down, but you probably don't have people all the way down here either. So, and that builds up and up and up and up, or down and down and down. It's like your roots digging deeper and deeper and deeper. Okay, so this picture, let me try to decipher this for you a little bit. Let's see, I don't know if I can blow it up. Yeah, I can blow it up a little bit. Okay. So we've got elites. They make about $300 a month. It says you enroll about 15 people and you can achieve the rank of elite. When you hit premier, you've probably enrolled about 25 people, or at least there are about 25 people on your team, a few of which who are enrolling other people. And you have 2 executives who are, that's a volume of 2,000 on each of those, which equals 4,000 plus 1 extra 1,000. So a total of 5,000. Is what it says right there. And premiers hit and earn about $600 a month, which is great, right? $600 is not nothing to laugh about. That's a great amount of extra income. Silver, you should be well beyond at premier paying for just your oils. So silver is when you have 3 elites. And that is, a lot of people are aiming for silver. That's a really good place to be. That's $2,100 a month, and that's a company-wide average, and it's, that's a great income. Most people would flourish with an extra $2,000 a month, or some people may be even able to live on just $2,000. A lot of people do live on $2,000 a month. So, I know at one of our recent leadership trainings, David Sterling, who's our CEO, he said that anyone can be wealthy at $2,000 a month. And of course, most people find that hard to believe, but I, for a lot of my married life, lived on less than that. And while we weren't, rolling in the dough or anything, we were fine. And we've made it to far past that because we were able to take that and reinvest it in something else and move forward. And that's what wealth really is. It's like the hope and creation of something new. So lead 3 people to elite. And that's what silver looks like. Okay, so moving forward, we've got golds. They each have 3 of these premier guys right here. See how they're flopped over here in the green. And they earn about 4,667. So this is all the combined earnings. So the first one, fast start. The blue one is the power of 3. The green is unilevel. And then you see the shares are starting to build up too and help pad that income. So that's what the orange and green and blue and yellow and purple are. So I hope that that makes sense. Okay, moving on. We've got to the platinum rank. Let's average about $8,700 a month. And you have 3 silvers. So you see the silver is popping over to here. And then when you hit diamond, you actually have 4 silvers. So a lot of times I like to tell people to, people say build to the power of 3. I actually think building to the power of 4 is maybe a little bit smarter, a little bit more long-term thinking. If you're very serious and really gonna go for it, because, well, first of all, you have a backup for your power of 3. So if somebody falls off and doesn't order 100 one month, you'll have a backup plan, and that person orders, and you'll be good. The other thing is for diamond, if you're building, all of that at the same time, it can be great. It can be draining too, so you have to really weigh it out. But if you have 4 people present themselves who all want to build, sometimes that's a good idea. Sometimes it's not, but I like the idea of power of 4. Okay, so then we've got the blue diamond, $36,000 a month. I mean, we're starting to get into numbers here that seem ludicrous, right? Okay, that's fair enough. I agree. And when I first enrolled, I thought these were ludicrous. I looked at silver and was like, holy smokes, $2,100 a month. That would basically be like me working full time. As far as I was concerned, I didn't know anybody who made more than that. But anyway, if you don't know, we've hit diamond a couple of times, so we're very solid platinum. So our paycheck is actually significantly more than that. Between platinum and diamond, I'd say we're very solidly between platinum and diamond. So that's just something to keep in mind. And it all started with me just wanting power of 3. And then being consistent and following up and, all those things that go along with it. But I'm obsessed with the oil, so that's all it really takes. Okay, so, and of course you guys have now too a lot of great guidance from people who know what they're doing. When we first started, we were making it up. This wonderful business building thing was not available at the time. So, we made a lot of mistakes that you guys don't have to make. So that's exciting. But anyway, so we're going to look over here. Oh, and don't forget presidential diamond. So I'm going to tell you really quick. So Crystal is my upline. She is a diamond. I have a diamond on my team who has hit diamond, and she probably will again very soon. And several others, I think, who are very close, very, very close. We have 1 platinum on our team right now. We have, I think, 2 golds and probably about 7 silvers. Maybe more. I'm not positive. Anyway, so that just gives you an idea of what's possible. And, last month we had 1 premier promote and we had like 8 elites promote. So anyway, just so you have an idea of like, is this really possible? I'm a normal individual, and yes, it's totally possible. I've seen my normal individual friends do this, and it's a very empowering thing because it's like, okay, you don't have to be, you don't have to have some advantage. We're, like I said, very normal people. And then Tanya, who enrolled Crystal, is blue diamond, and I've met her several times, and she's a very normal person. And then not her first upline, her first upline is blue diamond too, and then their upline is, and ours too, is presidential diamond. We have 2 up there that are presidential diamond, which, I mean, come on, $106,000 a month is kind of insane. So we're, don't focus on that. Don't be overwhelmed by that. Just think about what your goals are. And if your goal is $106,000 a month, by all means, maybe you have a huge goal to like start an orphanage or end sex trafficking or I don't even know. I mean, for me, I want to heal the planet. So that's what we're trying to figure out and connect people with their food sources. So you know why I'm focused on this. And so Drew and I are in really like, as we grow with this business and the more we have to give, the more we're like, wow, what are we going to do? We're coming up with a plan and a vision, and it's very exciting to be able to do that because, just 2 years ago, we weren't thinking that way. We were thinking, how can we maybe have a few people out to the farm and charge them so that we can make some money with this business of the farm? But that's literally hauling buckets. We won't even go there. Buckets of grain and water and all kinds. Poop. No, I didn't mention poop, did I? Okay, so number 1, you get to choose what you want to do with this. It's totally up to you. Do you want to earn your doTERRA products for free? That's an amicable goal or amiable goal. Is that right? No, it's not the word I'm looking for, but it works. So if that's what you're interested in, earning $200 to $600 a month, and those are basically the ranks of elite, premier, that's great. So focus on that. And what it would take is about a few hours a week. You'd have to get an enrollment kit, which you've already done, have an LRP order going, have a few business tools so that you can share with people. The class in a box that's offered straight through doTERRA is an amazing assortment of business tools. The plan, invite, present, enroll, and support. So that spells PIPES, pipes. These are the things that build your business. So plan, that means have goals. Write a names list down of people that you want to help with these oils. Invite those people to classes. Effectively invite them. Present to them in classes or one-on-one situations. Enroll those people. Help them get their own enrollment kit, and then also offer them support, continuing support. And we have a great system here and lots of support to offer anyone who is wanting to do this. So you don't have to be the only support. You have a great upline that is going to help you with that too. So keep that in mind. So an ideal goal, elite in 60 to 90 days, premier potentially in 6 months. So if that's what you want to go for, let's write these things down and make it happen. And we'll talk a bit about that a little bit more after we get through number 2 and number 3. So number 2, supplement your income. So $2,200 or $2,100 to $4,600 a month, silver, gold, average income. Guide others to earn their products for free, become a leader people want to follow, travel, grow personally, enjoy greater options. Totally true. With extra $2,000 to $4,000 a month. That's all very true. And I've experienced that. So part-time commitment, that means more like 20 hours a week. You get your enrollment kit, you set up your LRP, you have business tools, you do some daily personal development. And that's a huge difference between Premier, I've noticed, and Silver. People will get stuck at Premier and Elite and just be, they'll be overwhelmed by life and just frustrated all the time and sort of negative. And we all struggle with that and we all have to overcome it. So I'm just putting this out there because I keep seeing it time and time again. And people are like, well, I don't know why people don't want to be on my team. And I'm like, well, maybe because you are kind of sad or whatever. And it's not because that's who they are. It's just because what they have trained themselves to do and act. So it's a matter of overcoming your brain a little bit. And that's one of my favorite parts about my journey with doTERRA is how I have learned about personal development and what it's done for my personal life and my insides, basically, and how I view the world and all these different things. But anyway, so plan, invite, present, enroll, support. So the same ones that we talked about earlier, and then support your builders. A little bit more of that when you get to those levels. So number 3, this is replace or multiply your income, $8,000 to $100,000 a month. That's a small gap, right? But become a powerful leader and inspiring vision and living your passion. And I will say that I definitely feel like I'm doing that. I feel like every day I get to share with people what I love and what I hope they love and what I hope helps them. And connect them to nature. Even through these drops of oil, they are reestablishing a relationship that a lot of people have lost. So, and then make a global impact. And that's a very exciting thing as well, the potential there. And I can't wait to go on my first Healing Hands trip. It's only a matter of time. I know it, but anyway. Okay, so you need to have a full-time commitment. I did not start out with a full-time commitment. I very much started out with a blue commitment. a few hours a week. That was it. One class, maybe up to 3 or 4 classes a month. That was all I was willing to do. I did not want to sacrifice time. I had another business that was taking up a lot of my time. So don't feel like you have to jump in at full-time commitment, but that's what now we're at, because it has turned into that for us because we wanted it to. So and this is what it looks like for us. Really not much different, other than the time that we invested back at the silver and gold level. Okay, so let's see what the next page. How do I get out of this, I wonder? I don't know. No, I don't want to go back. I want to go forward. Oh, there we are. Okay, so this right here. No, don't go away. Okay. This right here, these are the first steps that you need to do when you decide you want to do this, and it doesn't have to be like a life-altering moment, but just be real. Or do you want to do this? And it's fair to say that you do. Your income in doTERRA will be in direct proportion to the number of lives you influence. So focus on building your efforts in an energy of service. And that's ultimately true. I mean, how have the oils impacted you? And isn't that something that you want to give to someone else? So begin building smart with these first 3 steps. Set a 30-day non-negotiable goal. That means, do you want to hit executive or elite in 30 days? Then, that's great. Write it down and let's make it happen. If you want to hit the power of 3, the 250 power of 3, write that down. Do you want to enroll 12 people in 30 days? That would be amazing, and so write that down. Number 2, create a names list. Who do you know who would benefit from doTERRA? Who needs wellness, money, purpose, or freedom? Refer to your phone contacts and your Facebook friends for ideas. And then number 3 is schedule presentations. And as you do these things, check them off to know you're getting the things done that you need to get done. Schedule 4 classes, 15 one-on-ones, or any combination on your calendar right now. Within the same month and closer together is ideal. And that's very true. So, if you can have maybe 2 a week for 2 weeks, that's going to be your best plan. You have one on Tuesday and one on Sunday, or one on Monday and one on Friday. And when you do that, it gives people an opportunity. They may not be able to come on Mondays, but they can come on Fridays. Or they can't come at 10 a.m., but they can come at 5 p.m. or whatever the case may be. And then it says, let's see, host presentations at home, of friends, on Facebook or on Skype, or at a restaurant. Invite your upline mentor to support you with your first 3 presentations, or you can use a class CBD. I definitely recommend starting with your upline, and they're more than likely very excited and thrilled to help you on this with classes and such. So the next steps: get the Launch Your Business Guide and connect with your upline support within 48 hours and start sharing. So hopefully you are going over this and your upline is with you in this call or sent you to this call and they want to talk to you. So make sure you do that. So this is a place where you can write down your names list. Make your family list. Who are the people in your family that need the oils? Don't think about whether they're interested in multi-level marketing or whether they're interested in natural healthcare. Who needs it? Because they may not know that they need it, but you know that they need it. So write their names down. And same with your friends. Do not prejudge anyone. Do not put people on this list because you're like, oh, well, she already does multi-level marketing, or she already has a very successful business, or whatever. Do not prejudge people. It's very important. Community. Who do you know in the community? Who are your neighbors? Who do you go to church with? Who is involved in the clubs that you're in? Write those people down on the list. And remember, don't judge. Other coworkers, product or service providers, anyone like that. It's really important that you make as thorough a list as you possibly can. And then the stars are there to help you kind of, focus your attentions with these people. Oh, yeah, I can't make it get small again. But you'll learn a little bit more about the stars in the launch guide. Okay, so this is just an updated version of our the doTERRA opportunity. doTERRA puts this out and they put it in so that we could look at it together. The 85 I told you are the people who enroll with doTERRA, and then 15% of them actually build. I'm really screwing up now. Oh, this is very hard to manage. Sorry, guys. I hope you're not getting dizzy, because I kind of am. Okay. All right, one last page, and I think it just has the updated, or no, it doesn't. Okay, well, so we're done with that. I was gonna open up share success and then the launch guide. So again, there's a video here that you're welcome to watch if you want to, or you can view the launch guide. And we can flip through that a little bit. I'm going to take a pause and see if there aren't any questions. So please, if you have some, either raise your hand or just speak up, or whatever. Anybody? No questions, really? None at all? Am I missing anything? Anyone who has my phone number, if I'm missing something, let me know. I don't see any chat. Okay. All right, then I'm going to go back to the launch guide and just go with you through that so you can see basically what your first steps are. If you're ready to go, what are those first steps? Okay, so don't be overwhelmed. It's a lot to look at. The first step is complete your getting started checklist, and that is on this page right here. And it just tells you, do you have everything you need? Did you set up your back office and get your LOP straight and earn your free product of the month? Who is your upline? Who is your training person? When do they have training? What are their team Facebook page groups? Are you in those? Then get equipped. Have some of these materials that we're talking about. There's the share, live, build guides. Those are super helpful. GoPro and Slight Edge are amazing books, and you can listen to them or read them, and they are very helpful for helping you understand the potential of this business too. And then pipes, learn what that means. What are pipes? It says prepare, invite, present, enroll, support. These are the activities that build a business. So what are yours? And are you actually doing them? Okay, so I completed the first 3 steps in the build guide. That's what we just went over. I completed the getting started checklist. So if you've done those, you completed step 1. So fill in the elite planner. That's on page 7 of this launch guide. So you flip to page 7. Are we on page 7? Yes, this is the elite planner. I think it goes to the back of the page too. Sort of, yes. So basically, it's as simple as following these steps and getting them done. And the quicker you do that, the faster you're going to see growth. So it's a very simple process, very straightforward process. Of course, you can go in and make it your own however you want. If you have a niche market of people, like we're working with a girl now she's a yoga instructor, or we've worked with a chiropractor, or you know, we know somebody who's very into horses, or somebody who's a doula and works with babies and new moms a lot. If those are your niches, you can use that and incorporate doTERRA into those things, and that makes you a much more viable resource for these people. And you know, people trust other people more if they're doing what they love and what's meaningful to them in a very transparent way. So, you know, apply the oils in the way that it makes sense for you where you're at. But I have yet to meet a business that I can't figure out how to incorporate oils. In fact, one of the most recent ones, somebody said, I was working with a car dealership and they really wanted to figure out how to incorporate the oils. So they came up with a thing of basically putting diffusers in all of the cars that they had, and you know, making them smell good, and then you know, kind of having stuff around the office and all this different stuff. It was such a good idea, because who doesn't love the smell of what used cars smell like? You know, an undefinable smell. Anyway, so the oils are a much better option than the cleaners that they usually spray in there. So anyway, that's pretty much it when it comes to what the earnings looks like. It's a lot of information in a short period of time, and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. It's not something you're not going to get quizzed on it. You just want to have a basic understanding of what the potential is and where to start. And where to start is start telling your friends about the oils and enrolling them. And if you have questions along the way, we're here to help you. Don't feel like you need to jump in and just be able to do it without assistance. So anyway, I hope you're all excited about the potential because it's really the sky's the limit. You get to presidential diamond and you can keep that income and start over building another tree. It's ridiculous. Can you imagine? But yeah, I think the highest ranking person right now is a double presidential, and she's probably well on her way to triple presidential diamond. So, you take that salary and double it, and that's where she is. That's crazy. But anyway, I hope this was helpful for all of you. These are some of my favorite resources. They're not the only resources out there, but I really like the simplicity of them and I like the looks of them. And I think they make it easy to get started and to know what do I do. And that's it. All right. So I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to linger here for a little bit and see if anyone has any questions. And if you do, raise your hand. Now I can see that. And I really appreciate you guys jumping on the call. And we will have this is recorded, so you're welcome to share it with people that couldn't be here. But yeah, ultimately, if you have people that are interested in building, then get a few of these and take them with you to talk to these people about the potential and have a little time to really answer their questions and meet their needs. All right. Well, I'm going to call it. Thanks again. I'll talk to you all real soon. Have a great night. Team meeting, 9 o'clock. Don't be late.